This is the most famous fighter jet ever made. It starred in one of the most successful military films in Hollywood history. And when that movie came out, the US Navy's recruitment offices couldn't handle the flood of people walking through the door. It can sweep its wings back like a bird in a dive, going from a slow carrier approach to a supersonic dash, automatically in flight, while its radar tracks 24 enemy aircraft at the same time and guides missiles more than 100 miles away. It was retired nearly 20 years ago, and to this day, millions of people around the world still consider it the greatest naval fighter ever built. This is the F-14 Tomcat, and its story is one of the most extraordinary in aviation history. It begins in the Cold War. The US Navy faced a terrifying problem. Soviet bombers were flying farther and faster than ever before, and they were carrying cruise missiles that could be fired at American carrier battle groups from hundreds of miles away, well beyond the reach of any existing fighter. The carriers were vulnerable. The Navy needed a solution, something that could get up fast, fly far, and kill a threat before it ever came close. So they went to Grumman, a company famous for building some of the toughest carrier aircraft in history, and gave them a specific mission: build us the ultimate fleet defender. The result was the F-14 Tomcat, and it was unlike anything that had come before. Let's start with the most distinctive thing about it: those wings. The F-14 has variable geometry wings, what most people call swing wings, and watching them move is like watching something alive. For takeoff and landing, the wings sweep all the way forward, spanning nearly 64 feet, giving maximum lift at low speed for safe carrier operations. But as the Tomcat accelerates, the wings automatically fold back, sweeping in tight until the span shrinks dramatically, turning the jet into a clean, supersonic dart. At full sweep, it hits Mach 2.34, nearly 2.5 times the speed of sound. And when it's parked on a carrier deck, the wings tuck back even further to save space in the crowded hangar below. The whole system runs on one of the first microprocessor-based computers ever fitted to a fighter aircraft, a chip so advanced at the time that it remained classified for decades. But the Tomcat's real secret weapon wasn't the wings. It was what it could do with its radar and its missiles. The AWG-9 radar, a monster of a system for its time, could track 24 separate targets simultaneously and guide missiles to 6 of them at the same time. And the missile itself was extraordinary. The AIM-54 Phoenix. A single Phoenix weighed over 1,000 pounds, and it could engage targets more than 100 miles away, long before a threat could get close to the carrier. No other fighter in the world could do anything like that. The Tomcat was a flying fortress of electronics, designed to reach out and destroy threats that other jets couldn't even see yet. And then came Top Gun. In 1986, a Hollywood film starring Tom Cruise put the F-14 on movie screens around the world, and changed everything. The Tomcat became a cultural icon overnight. Navy recruiting offices reported lines stretching out the door the Monday after the film opened. A generation of Americans grew up dreaming of flying the Tomcat. For pilots, it was a 2-seat jet. A pilot in front, and directly behind them, a radar intercept officer managing the sensors and weapons. That partnership, that crew relationship, became part of the Tomcat's soul, immortalized in film and in the hearts of everyone who flew it. Among carrier aviators, it carried a nickname earned the old-fashioned way: Tom, as in Tomcat, as in the best cat in the business. But the Tomcat story has one final, extraordinary twist. America wasn't the only country that ever flew it. Before a dramatic political transformation in the late 1970s, a close American ally had purchased around 79 F-14s, complete with the Phoenix missiles and American training. When that relationship collapsed almost overnight, those jets were suddenly in very different hands. Years later, when the US Navy finally retired its own Tomcats in September 2006, something almost unheard of happened. Instead of simply mothballing them as it usually does, the Navy made a decision: destroy them. Every single retired F-14 was shredded or crushed, to make absolutely certain that no spare part could ever find its way to those jets now flying for someone else. A nation that built the most powerful naval fighter in the world then systematically destroyed its own fleet to protect its secrets. That says everything about just how extraordinary the Tomcat truly was. 20 years after its retirement, the F-14 Tomcat is still the fighter that defines naval aviation in the American imagination. Its swing wings, its Phoenix missiles, its two-man crew, its movie fame, and its remarkable end. All of it makes the Tomcat unlike any aircraft before or since. It was born to defend the fleet at the edge of the possible, and it did exactly that for over 3 decades. The F-14 Tomcat, the legend that never really left.